finally, I would like to give the floor to Ms. Khan. Ms. Khan, how can we redefine impact investment for science-based solutions, and what is the way forward?
I'll tell you as soon as my mic works. Is it working? Okay. Thank you, Dr. Bellin, Her Royal Highness, Dr. Princess Nisreen Al Hashemite, dear colleagues and excellencies. It is a tremendous honor and pleasure to be here at the United Nations once again on the International Day of Women in Science. I am a Silicon Valley-based technology and biotech investor. We don't know what the world will be like in 100 years or 1,000 years, but we must plan and invest for a better future. As an investor, I struggled with the question, how do I know what's best for society in 1,000 years from now when I invest today? One would need a holistic, ideal worldview to build towards for that future. I realized through my time and experience at the United Nations that wisdom lies in the humility of knowing we must continue to build without knowing the end. We must build with the values and priorities that uphold civility, equity, safety, and health for everyone and everything on this planet. To me, sustainable development goals don't have to simply be an end goal. They are moral principles that must be upheld throughout progress and evolution. We do not know what the world will be like in 1,000 years from now, but we know which principles and values we should build it with. So how do you really measure impact? In my view, impact is generally measured by two main KPIs. How many people are impacted positively? How dramatic is the change in direction? In my view, the most meaningful way to measure impact is two other metrics, time and cultural change. The length of time an impact endures and the cultural evolution that this impact brings. No amount of exponential technologies or discoveries or science can have the impact we seek until culture is aligned. Let me describe just one case. In scientific publications, a 2020 study highlighted that in scientific publications, a citation gap between genders was skewed a full 40% in favor of male scientists across all STEM disciplines. Other studies have highlighted gender-conscious and unconscious biases that lead to a higher rate of manuscript rejection and lower rate of publication in prestigious journals for women. This is further exacerbated by the fact that some international scientists have higher visibility. They conduct field studies in lower-income countries in a way that undermines and undervalues the role of contributions to the local scientists from those countries, usually from the global south. Transforming institutional value system, culture, and practices towards a system that values justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion is critical for the scientific advancement of humankind. How? We should give rewards. We should give awards and incentives that recognize and reward authentic efforts to do so, create mechanisms to monitor implementation, and adapt and initiate positive spaces for dialogue where diverse voices and opinions are valued and matter. I hope the members of the private sector and investment community are listening today when I say it is not only the responsibility of the governments and the UN to draft equitable policies to drive cultural change. We as investors in the private sector need to fund and support initiatives that help bring cultural change to take us forward towards diversity, equity, and inclusion. In my venture capital community, I'm often asked why I spend so much time in the nonprofit world, and I call it part of my investment thesis. This is why. I am here to tell you that the greatest hurdle to realizing impact is not the lack of grassroots movements, not the lack of education, not even the lack of scientific solutions or innovation, like Chantaline said. It is the thick net of prejudice in the establishments, the glass ceilings, and the invisible walls around us that we cannot see. We will create a frustrated and angry, highly educated class of individuals in this world. We need to bring this cultural change in partnership with nonprofit, government, and private sector endeavors. Impact investment means investing in solutions, not just products. We need to be part of the journey to drive cultural change through engagement with the nonprofit world. Venture community, you need to be here.
Thank you, Ms. Khan. Thank you again to all the panelists.